2, 3, funky.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
Happy birthday,
dude! It's over.
You.
It's over.
Oh yeah,
Happy
happy birthday to you. Oh yeah.
Happy birthday, dear Kangsan.
Corby.
Happy birthday to you. So apparently we have.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kangsan. Thank you, Kangsan.
I'm only older in my mind and my body,
But in your soul,
I'm still a 12-year-old.
Okay. It's kind of hot.
Okay.
Here we go. All right.
Podcast over.
Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Good Times with the Boys. Thank you so much for flowing with us. Thank you so much for riding with us. You know what it is. I mean, we a day late a little bit. You know what I mean? It's the fourth day of August 4th. However, yesterday, we did celebrate something very special.
Tom Brady's birthday.
Okay, not Tom Brady's birthday or Todd Gurley's birthday or Martha Stewart's birthday.
But I did.
But what we all did, it was our own honorary boy number 2's birthday yesterday, August 3rd. So a very happy birthday to one of our boys, one of our best boys.
Thank you. We went to go eat some great Brazilian barbecue, and I have footage on my phone of Germund dancing with a few of the dancers that the restaurant provides. And so if you ever want to see Germund drop it like it's hot, just let us know, and maybe I'll leak that somehow.
You know what the crazy thing is, right? Is
you had a great time.
I had a great time, and we always have a good time with the boys, wherever the boys go anyway. It doesn't matter how many boys there are. It's always a good time, right? I've been to Samba a handful of times, and that was the first time that I've experienced the dancing.
I could tell. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, your eyes were fixated.
Yeah, but you know what? When they, not all heroes wear capes, as they say, right? And when I was called to display the skills that was bestowed onto me by God Himself, what did I do?
You said, I squat, and while everyone's dancing, you started squatting. Now, in terms of experiences, that's the first time I've ever seen someone start squatting while everyone's, doing the mambo or dancing.
Well, that chick who was telling us to dance, she was like, "Oh no, you have to do this, you have to do this," and I was like, "First of all, mommy, you sound fucking hot. Okay, you sound hot." And she said, "Well, you have to get low like this. You have to get low like this." And I said, "Oh, you get low like this? I squat. I got this. You know what I mean?" So Kangsan has a video of me on his story dancing amongst these other beautiful women at Samba Brazilian Barbecue in Redondo Beach. Shout out to them, no sponsorship.
Shout out.
But, maybe one day. So
know.
So Kangsan, how would you rate your birthday celebration?
Honestly, it's always fun. Birthdays are always a time to reflect and be grateful you're here, alive, another year. And the older you get, the more confident you are with yourself, and the more of a clearer picture you see in terms of like what you want to do and how you want to move forward with your life. So it is what it is. 29, it's just another year. But 30 now, see, that's a special year.
That dirty 30 though.
That next year for my 30th birthday, it's just no holds barred. Like, no one's going to tell me what to do.
We are going to Brazil for Samba, Brazilian barbecue.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm going to find my way into some action, maybe some trouble. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm down with that drunken debauchery. So, not only today is another special episode because of Kangsan's birthday, but if you haven't heard him yet, because he's been very polite and he's been very quiet. But
yes, he has.
But we do have a special guest, another guest on today, our second guest to the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Could you go ahead and introduce yourself, my boy?
Yes. What's up? Good Times with the Boys listeners. My name's Assan from Dallas, Texas. Just moved here, kind of by the way of Virginia. Virginia Tech grad. And Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
He's ready to have a good time.
Yeah, he's ready to get time. Sorry about that whole Virginia Tech thing. Anyway, so we've yeah, yeah,
So early. We just started.
yeah, we just started. But you know, you just got to let it all hang out now. And I met Assan 3 hours ago. Okay. And you know what? And I'm trying to put him through the gauntlet right now. We've been through some.
It's a test.
Yeah, this is a test. But you know what? He's passing everything. He's a handsome young gentleman.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? He's black.
That shit. Facts. Everything
You know, and that's what we do. We only state facts here. But yeah. So Assan, you anything else you want to tell us about yourself? You know what I mean? The connection between the boys and through Kangsan?
True. I got you. Kangsan. Wow. So, friend of a friend. Actually, this is how the story. So, Kangsan has a really good friend, Raph. I think he was a special guest on last.
He was our first guest ever.
Couple times.
Yeah.
He was here a couple times.
okay.
Friend of the pod.
Shout out to Raph. Yeah, friend of the pod. Shout out to Raph.
So he's come on the show a couple times. But Raph and I met in Dallas playing basketball. And then Kangsan came to visit Dallas a couple times, right?
Yeah.
And then we linked up. And then basically when I came out here, it was a done deal. So
It's a wrap. This kid's got a great future.
Yeah.
I just want to be a part of it. That's all it is.
Wait. So when you met Raph, who won that game? Was it like a one-on-one game?
Okay. So
I've never heard of the.
Okay, you're asking because I don't think you've seen us play before. But
Was it one-on-one?
Never.
And you know what the thing is? Max has never met Raph either.
what?
Yeah. He wasn't here for the podcast.
In my head, when I hear Raph mentioned
He's
all
gonna
the
say
time,
Ninja Turtles.
no.
Who do you think about? Who do you think about?
El Cuñado from
From the league.
the league.
Remember his name was Raph?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, Raph.
I
Raph.
remember, yeah.
He probably gets himself in dirty situations. I like him already. So I have a whole different image of Raph.
Yeah.
Got you.
He's
you know.
not that guy. I can confidently say he's not that guy.
Raph's the homie though. Really,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good friend.
Yeah.
No, we were playing 5-on-5. He was on another team. I was on the winning team. He's good.
You said you was on the winning team?
Always.
I love that. See that? Do you see that?
I thought we always talk facts on here.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell the truth.
You see us? Hey, if you guys are listening, you have to listen to the subtleties and all this, okay? The winning team. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. And he introduced me to this guy here, and so rest is history.
How are you liking LA so far?
It's expensive as fuck.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh.
Which I really can't.
Facts.
I'm really trying to understand, why people stay here because it's so expensive, right? But that kind of gives the city credit. There's a lot of people that love to live here, even despite that fact that it's so freaking expensive to live. And I live in Santa Monica, so you guys already know they charge you for everything.
Yeah.
Bags at the grocery store, water cups, everything costs.
I went to the last few times I visited Dallas. Raph and I and a few other friends, we went out to the bars, bar hopping, what have you. I remember we had a few drinks, so I offered to buy a round for everybody. I turn around, there's about 8 or 9 guys and girls telling me what they want to drink. And in my mind, I'm calculating LA prices. So LA, 8-9 people for a round, that's $12 to $14 a drink. You're looking at 100 something bucks. You got a tip. It's going to be about $110, $115.
For how many drinks again?
About 8 or 9. LA price, right? After tip.
Damn,
after
least,
tip.
At least.
Exactly. So
at least.
I turned around and I saw all the hands and I'm thinking LA prices. So I said, oh shit. I don't make that kind of money. So I said, fuck it, whatever. I was already drunk. So I turned around and gave the order. She gives me the receipt. $54. Right? So I look at the receipt.
Run.
You know that skit where Kevin Hart says he has to he changes the receipt in the light to see if the number would change.
I do that all the day.
I thought there was a 1 missing in front of the 5, so I'm like, is it 54 or am I that drunk? So I asked the bartender, hey, did you get all the drinks? And she said, yeah. Is there a problem? I said, no, can I get another round? So that's how cheap it was, the price differences between Dallas and LA.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that.
There's no state tax in Texas, from my understanding.
Facts.
Is that right? The estate tax?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about sales tax? You guys still have that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
there's-
But it's,
yeah.
I don't think it's definitely not as high as
It's
it
not
is
as
here.
10% as
here.
it is now.
Yeah, because like
in here.
Pennsylvania, Oregon. I'm sorry. Yeah, Oregon, Pennsylvania, some
Florida.
parts of Florida and New Jersey. The sales tax is nil, zero. And so,
Oh.
yeah, and so you go. Well, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know about Florida. I just know about Pennsylvania, Jersey, and some place parts out there. So you go out there and you buy, buy some shoes, some Nike shoes, some Flyknits for like $120.
Flyknits.
It's $120. Boom, just like that, no tax.
But the beauty, the appeal of LA, despite the high prices, is that there is an answer to any question you have.
fact.
You want to go snowboarding? We got mountains. You want to go to the beach? We got beaches. You want to go inland? We got the desert. You want to go hiking? We have, hiking trails. Do you want to go to the club? We got all the clubs you want.
Hey.
Do you want to eat certain number of foods? We got it all there. You know what I mean? Like every answer to everything you want to do. We got Disneyland. We have amusement park. San Diego's 2 hours down the road. NorCal is 6 hours up. You can go to Mexico if you want. It's all there. So all that while staying 70s for the majority of the year.
That's crazy.
Right?
So
That's the biggest thing too. Just the weather, the climate that people live in. That sometimes that's what the biggest
Yeah.
factor of where they're gonna live.
So the exciting part is, LA's building up their public transportation. So you can effectively access all parts of LA by just train or bus, which down the road will be very great. Just for now, you just kind of have to deal with it. But that would probably be the biggest shock is the price. Everything is 1.5, 2 times more expensive than you might be used to.
Yeah, I mean, would you look at it this way, sir? If a lot of things are more expensive, however, there are more things readily available for you to do, as you just said, right? So to someone in the grand scheme of things, right? To someone who is not as adventurous or not as adapted to wanting to see new things, say for instance, someone who's very stagnant at home who just wants to watch TV.
Why do you keep looking at Max?
First of all, I'm looking at all three of y'all motherfuckers. Okay,
Hey, look at me.
All right, I'm looking at all you guys.
You looked at Max and you're like, who wants to be stagnant?
No. As a good public speaker, you have to look at everybody. Just because my inflections are to a certain person, it doesn't really. No. I'm just saying, just generally speaking.
Is that what you guys think of me?
No. Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, it's clear.
And all this time I've been giving you coupons to the script scrub, and you're like, you take it so easily.
Max, when was the last time I got a coupon to the script scrub, fam?
I didn't even know that. You
Just
get
the other
coupons?
Yelp. You check in Yelp, you get $10 off the entrance fee. I'll tell you right now, it's a cool whatever time it is right now, 9:30. I ain't got no watch, but I can tell you what.
Check German's wallet right now. He probably has the buy 10 entrances, get 11 for free or
Oh
something.
yeah. But it's all electronic now. But yeah, I mean, for people who don't necessarily reap the benefits of living in an area like in LA, I could definitely see that they can complain about that. You know what I mean?
You don't think it's expensive? You do too.
No. It's well, I mean, fortunately, where I'm at, it's not too bad. But
Where do you live?
Torrance, but in a doper place. I'm in the hood of Torrance.
That's not a doper place.
Hood of Torrance.
I'm in the hood of Torrance.
Oh, wow.
Okay. First of all, you seen Torrance?
Yeah, I drove past.
Okay, there's no such thing as a hood in Torrance.
I mean, he's making it seem like it's
a
real
hood.
deal out
There's
here.
a hood
Torrance.
in every city.
It's the hood of Torrance. Okay.
It's not the hood.
First of all,
Okay.
I've gotten my car stolen. I've gotten my car set on fire.
You've never gotten your car stolen.
I've gotten my car stolen.
How many times?
I've gotten my car set on fire.
No, that's actually a true story.
Once I've got my dad's Camry. His battery in his car has gotten stolen 5 times. Okay, so yes, maybe there is a hood area. Okay, it's not the proper nomenclature for like
what I'm
Compton
getting
or Watts
from
or
it,
whatever.
you haven't learned your lesson.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mister. I sit at home in my fan and a gated community guy. Okay,
Listen.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll say this:
Yeah.
my dad, my parents live in down the ways, but my dad got a lot of his tools from his truck stolen one morning, and it never got stolen again.
What'd you do?
what
to-
happened?
He learned his lesson.
So he just not put his
Dude, he
tools
got-
in his van?
No, like those tool vans, they have all the doors on the side.
Yeah.
So he went to a body shop and they got a metal bar welded to the sides with a padlock that opens it up. So you can open it up to get the tools and then it locks it down. It's just heavy ass. They just welded a piece of metal.
So
to
what
it.
my dad started to do because of that battery was getting stolen all the time. He deadbolted it
Oh,
to
damn.
the chassis of the car.
What if he replaced it with a can of worms? So every time they open the hood, the worms come up.
Oh shit! I mean, I wish, but you know what they did? They broke through the deadbolt, stole the battery anyway.
Is a battery really that valuable?
That's what I'm fucking, dude. The first of all, what people want to steal is the catalytic converter.
Oh, facts, yeah, sure.
Because the catalytic converter has like that, like it's made out of like diamond or like,
it has fine minerals in there, and
fine minerals
you
of
can
diamonds.
resell that shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nickel.
I don't know if it has I don't know if it has nickel, nor do I think nickel is worth anything more over than a diamond.
Does it have copper?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't have copper.
I don't know.
It doesn't have copper, but it has all they want from a catalytic converter is the converter itself that they piece out and they sell out. You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers stealing their fucking battery. You know? But I tell you what, though, batteries are not cheap, bro.
They're not that bad though.
They're like $50-$60 a piece.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's not expensive. It's not cheap. I just think from like a thievery standpoint, the value of getting caught versus the value of not getting caught for a battery.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I feel like it far leans towards it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But-
And now we put up a security camera that's fake, or I shouldn't have said that.
A real security camera.
We have a real security camera now. That's actually
don't
real.
steal batteries.
Yeah, ADT certified. All right, ADT certified. That shit is fucking real, bro. Okay. So hey, don't fuck with our cars. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a nice little intro to what we got us on. Thank you again for joining us here on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
We just, I would say we just witnessed history. I would say so.
Yeah, for sure. We just finished UFC 227. Garbrandt Dillashaw. We saw Mighty Mouse Johnson lose for the first time in what, like 6 years?
6 years.
Yikes.
11 title
That
defenses.
is wild. He was so calm after, and I think it was just because when you're on top, when you're on top for so long, and he's 31, so he's a little bit older. The mature person would assume at some point the reign will come to an end, and you have to be okay with that happening in order for you to continue to. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to deal with your mortality in a sense to continue to be on top in a way.
Right. Or you're just so good that you've been there for so long, you understand now.
Yeah, but you don't want to get too cocky and think you'll never lose, and that's how you lose. When you understand that there always is a possibility for you to lose, it keeps you grounded, it keeps you humble, it keeps you hungry. So I think that was part of it. He was so calm, and his conditioning was just so good. He had a 5-round, 5-minute like brawl. Mm-hmm. And he was afterwards, it literally looked like he was like one of the guys at the gym who just like walked on the treadmill for 30 minutes. And he was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like now I get to go home kind of guy. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And mad respect to Henry Cejudo, the new, I believe it's featherweight. Flyweight. The new flyweight champion now. As Kangsan just alluded to, dethroning the 6-year time champion, 11-time defending champion Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse. He came out, had some weird shit happen to him in the first round, but you know what, dude? Both of them brawled. Both of them let the heart out there, and it was fucking dope. It was a good fight to watch.
And that wasn't even the main event.
And it was not Kangsan. Because... So the main event of the evening was another title defense, of course. Defending champion DJ Dillashaw.
Yep.
Versus Cody No Love Garbrandt.
No love.
He ain't got no love. And I mean, go ahead, Assan. I mean, if you want, if you want to.
I mean, it was a hard to watch fight, honestly, from my perspective.
Really? And why is that?
I mean, obviously, I was pulling for my boy Cody. Also, because I believe the first time that they fought, that TJ Dillashaw kind of got lucky. Cody knocked down Dillashaw 2 or 3 times in the first round.
It could have been over in the first round if it wasn't for the 10-second left to the end of the round.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about
Saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell, yeah.
Right? And then it's time for him to come back. Cody looks fucking like a boss. You know, he's ready to go. He's going to cement history and make it correct. And he goes out there, lands one punch, and gets way too excited.
Yeah.
And then kind of just loses all his technical aptitude and kind of swinging like barnyard haymakers and then gets fucking laid out. So, I don't know. I still think Cody's better. I could be like a fucking biased, like sore loser. But
No, I mean,
TJ's
there are flashes of greatness there. Obviously, Cody Garbrandt wouldn't be in this position. I mean, words alone, okay, you can get to the top, but you know what gets you to the top is winning, okay, and beating formidable players as you get up the ranks to try to get this belt, and that's what Cody Garbrandt's done. That's what everyone else has done, right? So Cody Garbrandt isn't here just because he's a badass and he's team alpha male, and you know he gets pushed up there. He can fucking fight.
Yeah.
fast as hell.
And he's fucking fast,
He's
bro.
so fast.
To me, he has the fastest hands.
I
And
wouldn't doubt that.
from if you ever heard him talk about like his origins of how he started fighting, there's no origins because he was born into it. His uncle was in I guess a trainer or something, but he was always part of a boxing regiment. Like he was boxing ever since he was a little kid. It was just that's why he has that natural gift in just fighting, because he was just born into it, you know. Like if you were born into the ring, that's Cody Garbrandt, you know what I mean? Look at his hands, like that shit is so fast.
That shit fast.
Yeah.
That shit is fast.
I'm normally a very peaceful guy. Like I want everybody to treat each other nicely, and I would hope for people to be kind to one another. But when it comes to fighting in the UFC and just competition in general, there's something to say when the opponents hate each other and they despise each other very strongly. It adds another element of excitement and suspense that I'm all for. Yeah. Which is ironic because I want everybody to be nice to each other except for when they fight. Yeah. When they fight, there's something that like triggers inside me where I'm like, I want one person to like punch the other person's face in and then come back and like break a leg, and then the other guy like dislocates the other dude's shoulder. Like I just want to see pure carnage.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good fight, though.
Oh, of course.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
I think it's human nature. Honestly, to
maybe.
an extent.
Yeah. And,
Gladiator
it's
days.
weird.
Yeah, dude, we talked about before. As much as you don't want to see something gruesome or morbid, a lot of people want to fucking see that shit. You know what I mean? Especially if it's them that not experiencing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I don't gotta feel pain, but this dude's about to get socked in the face. Yeah, I'll check out World Star Hip Hop right quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll look at
Oh,
it.
that used to be the freaking.
Oh, it
link
still
right
is
there.
for sure.
Hey, World Star Hip Hop is Max's Bible right there.
That's his CNN.
You know
That's
what
where I
I'm
get my news.
saying? Stay up to date on World Star Hip Hop.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, and then just closing out MMA, we have a big MMA fight coming up. UFC 229 October 6th, fam.
We did one podcast episode in Vegas. This might be the second one.
Oh,
I'm just saying it out there. I'm just saying.
last
big
time
talk.
I checked, I ain't no
just saying.
bitch, and no, this dude.
Khabib versus Conor is gonna be that moment where you stumble upon a YouTube video of two rams charging each other, and that pure tension and suspense you feel of like what's gonna happen to their heads. That's what's gonna happen in that fight. Yeah, whatever the result is of that, or like a big monster truck rally car wreck, or just something where it's like a good NFL like football tackle, a good like poster dunk in the NBA, that kind of like where two bodies are colliding in air, and there's like it just slows down for you as a viewer. That's what's gonna happen on October 6th between these two guys.
You know, Conor McGregor is from Ireland, obviously, but where is Khabib from?
Russia?
Is he Russian?
Is he
No,
Russian?
it's like Yugoslavia
Or Serbia?
Serbia, Czechoslovakia, something like that.
Okay.
He's from like a smaller country. It's not necessarily
What's it called?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, like fucking Borat.
He sometimes wears that like. Have you guys seen him in the press conferences? He wears the. It's like that wig. It's
that
like
fro, that
blonde
fro,
wig.
yeah,
What is
yeah.
that? Is that an intimidation factor? Because I
no.
don't
That's
really-
like a hat, a cultural hat that they wore from where he's from. So it's like an homage to his hometown.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, Connor's not gonna knock that
Dagestan.
off along with his head.
Dagestan?
or around the Russian place.
He's close, right?
Yeah.
Close too.
Yeah.
That blonde hair, kind of long hair, like some Josh Koscheck type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a hat that they wear over there. Keep your head warm. kind
How
of
do you
thing.
know so much?
That's the only thing I know about Khabib.
Tough. I like it.
That and probably like whenever I see him fight, he does this thing where he knows he got you like in a clinch or on the ground or just if he has a hold of you,
Right.
he does this thing where he's looking at the eyes of the opponent as he's beating the face, and he just looks, and it's this like intimidating, almost murderous look that he gives, and that's after that I was like, I'm in. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Khabib. But see, Conor provides the bravado. He provides the machismo. He talks a good game, and then he backs it up.
Right.
Which is, he has that intensity. He's a loud guy who backs it up. Usually people who are loud are the ones that are the most scared, right? Loud animals are usually loud, the most timid when it comes to like a fight or flight scenario.
How about lions though?
And bears.
But lions, they're quiet until they feel they have to attack you.
You're right.
Conor is not quiet until someone talks to him. Conor will talk to everybody before before anyone talks to him. But he backs it up. So it's going to be very interesting dynamic. Plus you have, outside of the States, every place you go to, every country, there's very much a patriotism there. So all of Ireland is going to be all for Conor.
Oh, dude, they're shutting that shit. They're shutting the country down, dog.
And then you have all of Dagestan and probably Russia. That's going to be all for Khabib. And
how many people are in Dagestan?
I was going to say all of Dagestan, all 13 people and 50,000 sheep.
Well, yeah, you need one shepherd. You need you for sure need a grocer, a gas man, a convenience store, a cattle, a dog breeder, and the parents. So 8.
That just about rounds it out.
That's about 8.
They're all the same family.
Check this out. So would you much rather have, you have, as Kangsan was saying, you have Khabib who's, say you get them down on their back, right? And he's grounding and pounding on you.
Yeah.
And he's looking at you straight in the eye with this fucking face. It's just like, I'm going to kill you. Would you much rather have that? Or would you have Conor McGregor looking over you, looking at you straight in the eye with the biggest smile on his face? Because that's what Conor McGregor does.
Yeah, I would take Khabib because Khabib will beat you, which obviously will suck, but you risk that going into any type of fight. But if you fight Conor McGregor, there's a chance that you'll get humiliated.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Like, you don't see
after,
the punch getting the punch coming that knocks you out. You wake up and say, "What happened?"
Yeah,
because that's Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? He can dismantle and knock out opponent in the first, second round, and the punches is just pinpoint accuracy. It's where you could put the least amount of energy into a punch and knock out a person. Every time I see Conor McGregor throw a punch that knocks people out, I'm always surprised. I'm like, man, that's like a jab amount. Where they say whenever you punch, you have to punch through an object, right? To me, his accuracy is to the point where, okay, I'm gonna leave my fist here. Now your chin, where it's the most weakest, is gonna land right there at my middle knuckle, and you're gonna get knocked out. That's Conor McGregor for me.
Yeah.
But with this Khabib fight, it's such a good fight. Besides the drama that happened, that put Conor McGregor's whole career in jeopardy, it's the fact that in terms of stylistics, this is Conor McGregor's most disadvantageous opponent, a person who has the endurance. We always thought that I thought that Conor McGregor had a chance against Mayweather, but after the 4th round, of course, it's the endurance. When McGregor's first loss against Nate Diaz, he lost because he got tired to defend himself once the fight got onto the ground. So it's really gonna come up to, has Conor McGregor overcame his weaknesses from fighting in the ground, his endurance, and this is something that now it's kind of prevalent. This is like Conor McGregor could be one of the greatest fighters of all time, but this is that challenge. This is the obstacle to overcome, and I think this is gonna be a great fight with the whole history behind it.
I'd give Conor, if it were to all end right now, I'd give him HOF. You know what I mean? I'd get, just because of what.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Just
He already is.
Yeah,
for
just
sure.
what he's done for the game. Not even inside. Well,
The first
like
two
the press
times- no,
conferences and
second.
all that shit. I don't consider that inside the ropes. You know what I mean? But like just the excitement that he brings into the game. And I tell
yeah.
you what, UFC would not have the amount of money that they'd have right now if it weren't for Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
That's
for
true.
sure. I agree.
And so mad respect to him. And this is going to be, and I cannot wait for that fight. It is going to be a dope fight. And then one last thing, Cub Swanson did get knocked out. So,
But hold on, with the Conor McGregor thing, I would like to add
that.
into this point that he is the greatest. Yes, he is the greatest trash talker of all time. But after the end of the fight, you could he always gives props to his opponent. Like we saw in the fight earlier today how this Brazilian guy who beat Cub Swanson, and he got into his knees and bowed down him and showed respect. Now, that's amount of respect that Conor McGregor shows his opponent at the end of the fight. So it's not about the trash talking that he does, but combine that with the fact that at the end of the fight, he shows respect.
well, he understands the game.
Yeah.
Right. Say if you were to look at it synonymous with, in this day and age, we have this rapper guy named Tekashi 6ix9ine.
That's my boy.
You
Okay.
gotta keep bringing him up.
We have a guy named Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, I initially did not like him because I did not understand what he was doing, right? And so I'm a showman, okay? I'm a touted MC, successful MC for cams, for the dance show.
Okay.
And you know what? I understand what it takes to put on a show and how to be successful by putting on a show. Now, it might not be who you are or who you want to be, but in order to put on a show, sometimes you have to put on a facade. Sometimes you have to put on a mask in order to perform your show. Because sometimes people off the court, on the court, off the field, on the field, they're different people. You know what I mean? If I'm being paid to perform, I'm going to give you my performance person. You know what I'm saying? Because me, as a regular person, all I want to do is just drink beers, play video games, and watch TV. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. So this is Tekashi 6ix9ine in this day and age right now, right? Now we're almost past the millennial age, like the Gen Z age now, right? Like what Assan is a part of.
Whoa.
Assan
No,
is,
we're all still millennials.
what year were you born, Assan?
93. I'm 24. I'm up there.
Oh, I think you
I'm
just
millennial.
made it. I think you
Gen
just
Z
made
is
it.
like 20, maybe.
Yeah, Gen Z's late 90s, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the later millennials now, what's happening is, Tekashi has been touted as this guy. What the fuck is this guy doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. Now, the game that he's playing, the show that he's emceeing, is a little more volatile compared to what everyone else is trying to put on. But he has even had said himself that, you know what, dude, this is all a fucking show. You know what I mean? I know I'm not a good rapper, but you know what? Y'all motherfuckers want to keep giving me millions of dollars to put out these shitty ass songs and to perform at these dope ass places. I'm going to continue to do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, when he comes back from that, he's saying what's up to his homies and he's giving away to the public, to whoever it is. You know what I mean? It's kind of synonymous with Conor McGregor, right? He goes on, throws chairs at a press conference, throws water bottles at Nate Diaz. But at the end of the fight, goes up to him, gives him a hug, and say, you know what, this is just business, right? And so that's why it's like, I don't know if there is a true just hatred amongst people.
I'm not saying anything wrong
in
with
the UFC,
Tekashi
in the UFC.
6ix9ine because I really haven't delved into his music too much. But what's great about Conor McGregor is that he talks that shit, he backs it up, shows the skills. He said, I'm gonna knock this guy out in the first round in 30 seconds and thing. He knocks him out, then bows down and shows grace and humility, and it does it right. You know what I mean? So I'm not exactly sure with Tekashi 6ix9ine. I can't judge anything about that, but Conor McGregor, man, man, he's the real deal. I wish him the best, and him and his child. Hopefully now he's got that settled down, and now he's taking this fight and he's doing it for himself to show that he's the best.
And was anyone really surprised that he didn't get any crazy time for doing that crazy shit that he did?
But it wasn't that bad, right?
Assan,
let's talk damage caused and who he hurt.
He picked up
a barricade and he threw it at a bus.
Yeah. Was it a barricade or one of those trolleys?
It was a steel barricade, I thought.
Or a barricade.
Or something.
Okay.
It was a trolley that you put on and you roll it away.
He threw it.
Easily 20, 30 pounds and threw it at a fucking tour bus.
And the glass broke, and I think it cut a few people.
Right.
People that were going to fight the next day or the next morning
Next
or whatever.
event, yeah.
And there's nothing you can say bad about Connor. It's just that, in my personal opinion, sometimes he takes it too far. There's a difference between being a showman,
Yeah.
I agree.
and risking people and their career. It's okay if you talk shit, you throw water, you're not hurting nobody, you're promoting the business. But when you get into the realm of actual physical injury, you can no longer claim, in my eyes, that it's just for show.
With that incident, there's several fighters who had to drop out of the fight.
Three of them did.
Three of them, right?
Do you guys
Jeez.
know the motive that Connor had for?
Yeah, he was
doing
backing
what
his
he did?
boy up. I get it.
It's loyalty at a fault, a bit. Is
Yeah,
what you're
for
gonna
sure.
Well,
chalk it
Khabib
down
was
to,
still
but-
talking shit about Conor McGregor to Artem Lobov. He was saying that Conor McGregor, he doesn't take fights on the normal basis. He just chills, takes the easier fight, something, and he's talking to Artem Lobov, something like that. That's from my understanding. So, and then Artem Lobov is trying to defend himself, and something happened where, like, I think Artem Lobov said something dirty about family, like, fuck your mother,
fuck your mom.
There you go.
Yeah, some shit like
And
that.
then
That was
there was
the
something
accent I
where
love
it's
it.
like,
Thanks, son.
yeah, and then I think that's how it got started.
Yeah,
But-
and there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of layers behind there for sure.
I'm pretty sure Connor he knew he was gonna do something crazy, but I'm pretty sure when he picked up that dolly and he threw it at the bus and everything shattered, I'm pretty sure he was like,
He didn't think that
Oh,
was
shit.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's no way. Somebody of that stature and that type of level that he's in the UFC and in just society in general, you're not gonna fuck that up or find ways to risk it. And I think Connor is a very calculated man when it comes to the things that he does. So yeah, I think he thought it was gonna go a different way.
Right.
Maybe it just vibrates and it scares them. He didn't think it was gonna shatter and injure people. He's too smart to fuck up his clout like that, I think.
Think about a guy like that though, who's in your corner. How good that must feel from Artem's perspective.
Yeah.
This is a highly touted UFC fighter. More well known than me, and he's over here risking like his whole career just because someone either disrespected me or I have an enemy and we're friends, so now his enemy is my enemy, kind of thing. Like that's fire. Like that type of friendship is kind of hard to come by.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I respect that. But enough with this MMA stuff. I think we delved pretty deep into it. October 6th, 229. Okay, we have that to look forward to. But I think we have some cool things that we want to do here with our guest Assan. Yes, Kangsan?
Yeah, one of the characteristics I like the most about Assan is his ability to just sort of help everybody feel welcome around him.
Interesting.
Right? Okay. Assan's a very social human being.
Yeah, definitely.
He's very much into, enjoying company and having people around him and doing activities that kind of make you feel like your time well spent.
Right, like Wayne Brady.
Oh, I said that in confidence and he brought it up. That's so fire.
No
relation.
No relation. It was that was an inside joke.
So-
he looks nothing like him, guys. All right.
I'm going to move on here.
Yeah, let's move on quick.
And so part of the things is every once in a while, if we're just sitting around talking, Assan will ask questions that you don't really think about or talk about, but they are a part of everyday life. And that brings an interesting element because now once those questions get asked, you start to see the types of personalities around you, right? Mm-hmm. If people feel like, whoa, why are you asking me? They clam up. But there's other people that are like, fuck it, I'll just talk about whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Mm-hmm. You get to start to see that the person's limits, right? You get to see their limits on what they're willing to say outward and what they're willing to keep inside. And the last time we were with Assan, Raf, myself, Assan, Arya, we were just talking about random things. In a previous episode, I know we talked very much in detail, unfortunately,
In detail.
about our showering habits.
That's on. You gotta listen to that episode.
And
Very important.
that was a topic that was brought up by Assan. It was like, do you guys shower with back facing the shower or the face facing the shower, whatever. And he just kind of dove into a conversation, and we were up before you know it's like 2 a.m. You're like, okay, I gotta go home, kind of thing. So,
But hey, those are the best conversations, though. Man.
exactly. And so with Assan's unique ability to bring up conversation like that, with our enjoyment of a very popular YouTube series called Hot Ones, we melded our alcoholism with our affinity for conversation, and we're gonna aptly name it Shot Ones. So this is the first edition or the first episode of Shot Ones.
Nice.
It's a series we'll introduce into the pod every once in a while, where before every question, we're going to take a shot and we answer it. Assan will ask the question. Assan will be the moderator. He's going to discuss he will, after we all have answers, he will arbitrarily, for no reason, assign points to everybody. It doesn't mean anything, but it'll be like, whose line is it anyway? And he'll have ability to chime in. He'll tell people if they're wrong. And again, this has no basis or no frame of reference.
No merit.
Assan has free reign. So we're going to start with Shot Ones.
We will start with the Shot Ones.
So here we go. Before the first question Assan asks.
Hit it.
Salud, mi familia.
Salud.
Salud to Kangsan's birthday. Salud, salud, salud. Shout out to Chivas Regal. This is not a sponsorship, but maybe one day. Thank you very much. Salud.
Killing it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There we go.
Chaser too. Okay.
All right.
Love it.
Assan, first question, please.
Let's roll, baby.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. So, have this book called Chew on Life's Big Questions. Has a lot of good questions in it. However, I have some questions on my own before we get to
Do it.
Here
So-
we
so,
go.
First question.
There you go.
First question.
craziest
I like
thing.
this.
Me
Off
and
the
my
cuff.
me and my roommate were actually driving to a Nike outlet store today near Santa Clarita.
Yeah,
Santa
Santa Clarita.
Oh,
Clarita.
I like how you put.
Okay,
your
by the
little
way,
accent
okay,
to
first
it,
of all,
Clarita.
yeah. First of all, the California way to say it is Santa Clarita. Okay, go on.
Santa Clarita.
Clarita.
Okay, wow, guys.
Esperanza.
Dude, I have this friend who is not Spanish, took Spanish in high school. Every time we go to a Mexican restaurant, he all of a sudden turns this fake Spanish accent on and he thinks it's like his way to connect with the employees.
Is it good, though?
No, it's,
Damn it.
it's not. Like, I go up and you want to, let's say you want a carne asada burrito with some pico on the side. I say, can I get a carne asada burrito with some pico on the side? And they know what it is. My friend will walk up and he goes, oh, did you order? He goes, yeah, okay. So he walks up, can I get a carne asada burrito y the pico de gallo? And I'm like,
Hey, that's not that bad, though,
He's trying his best.
Dude, that's not that bad, bro.
it's not until you look at the person who's taking the order's face
Uh-huh.
and the face just says, I can speak English. Just fucking say what you want. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know that face?
Yeah. Right.
I see that face all the time. I'm like, dude, just say. And he's like, what? It's just one of those things. For example, German, say the word sand.
Sand.
Say the word lot.
Lot.
Say sand lot.
One of the best movies ever is called Sand-A-Lot.
You hear that?
What happened?
You hear that?
What was that?
Say sandlot.
Sand-A-Lot.
Oh, he adds another letter.
Yeah.
For his
No,
own.
it's-
I don't
Sand-
think I don't know the letters.
Sandlot.
Sand-A-Lot.
Sand-Lot.
There you go. You said it.
Yeah. Sand-A-Lot.
See? It's this whole cool whip situation with him.
Whip.
You say whip?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Stewie says whip.
I wish you did.
Anyway, it's just one of those things.
Sand-A-Lot.
So Santa Clarita.
All right. It meant no disrespect. I had no idea it was going to
No.
turn into that.
I was just,
I would have just said Nike store. But, we're all getting to the age now, in our 20s, upper 20s.
yep.
Everyone's looking for the right one, right?
Ooh.
That's somewhat everyone's goal. Yeah.
True. In one way or another.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
And so we had another buddy who came over, played Catan last night. And he's been talking to a girl for like about 7 months or so.
Ooh.
And he's about to move in with her.
Okay. Wow.
So like
Seven months.
my thing is, I asked Arya. Arya is my roommate, by the way. He's saying 100%.
Arya's a dude.
Arya's a guy. Yes, not like the one from Game of Thrones. Like, dude. He said
Must be a hot dude. Continue.
100% live with them maybe a year or so before marriage. Okay.
Okay.
I disagreed completely.
What's your point?
I'm don't live with them at all.
Ooh.
But let me tell you why.
Okay.
It's something about living with the opposite sex before you're married
Yeah.
that is so odd to me.
Bro,
like,
hey, you shouldn't feel bad about that.
But what's
Do you know what I
odd
mean,
about
though?
it? What's odd
You're a
about it?
traditionalist. Continue.
yeah, it's
What's odd about it?
It's just like, what relationship do we really have besides being like boyfriend and girlfriend, which is something like we have deemed that we are. You know, when you get married, there's a lot of other things that kind of get involved. Your families are now connected. You know, a minister, an ordained minister, has like connected you. I mean, even religion plays an aspect in it.
Right.
So it's just like a stronger bond to me, and it means more. And I don't know. In my experience, I feel like when people live together before they're married, like a lot of shit goes wrong. But then,
So it's already setting up the fact that, hey, this is a trial period. When you're going into it as, let's test the waters out. Even if it ends up doing good, there's always that back in the mind, like, hey, we entered this skeptical. You know what I mean? Right. Whereas, you know, when you get married and stuff, you're already committed to making that bond. You're going into living with this person with already a certain mindset and perspective that's much more beneficial and advantageous to the relationship. I think there was a recent study that came out saying that actually, and I remember talking to one of my coworkers because she is in a relationship with a boyfriend they're living together,
right?
And it just slipped out because, you know, I'm just going over some facts that I recently, or studies that I've recently heard, that people who actually move in together before they're married, it's more likely for them to not end up staying together or after 5 years, rather than people who've never lived with each other and then get married, then live with each other. The success rate for them to still be together after 5 years is way much higher. Now, I haven't gone into the details of that, but that's from a source, Ben Shapiro. Thank you, Ben Shapiro, who's really more on the fact base. Maybe I would still, you know, be more adverse on that fact and maybe do some research on that. But from what I believe, I can see how that's possible.
So the question is, what team are we on?
Yeah, I want to know what you guys think as far as, is it okay to, would you rather prefer to live with them before, so you kind of get an idea of their habits? That's how you really get to know someone, some people would say. Or, I guess, like to his point, a more traditional route or conservative route.
Kangsan?
I'm very much, if I have a preference, if I could choose, I would live with them before marriage. It's based on my mindset, where it's like, once I make up a decision, I'm all in. In order for me to decide whether or not I want to marry somebody, spend the rest of my life with them, I'm going to need to know every single detail about their life. The way they live day to day, the way they sleep, how they organize their clothes, or, you know, these are very minute details that you may think it's going to be easy to address.
Right.
Like which sock they put on first.
No, that shit don't matter. But it's like, it's like, how clean are they? How do they do their, you know, how often do they clean? Are they the type of person that leaves dishes everywhere, or do they clean up after every meal?
And you're saying the only way you can get that information is to live with them.
I'm saying, if I want to make a decision where I'm devoting the rest of my life to this person, I'm going to want to know every single detail before I make up my mind.
That's fair.
Respect.
Yeah. But that's for me, because what happens then is, like, once I make up that decision, I go, okay, this is the person. Then from that point on, it's by all means necessary, you make it work. Meaning there's no stone left unturned, so that there's no surprise from either side, where I'm like, hey, I don't like it when you do this. And the girl's like, well, you never told me before, and now we're all married and shit. You know what I mean? Like, now you're telling me now. I bring it up every chance I have, up to the point where I know what I'm getting myself into. She knows what she's getting herself into. Now, are we good? Then we go. Then from there, in my opinion, it's for me, it's a lot easier to keep going.
Okay. Well, so one thing I'll say to that is, so the small things you're saying, does she clean up? Does she wash dishes? How she folds her clothes? All these things.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, are these deal breakers? You know what I mean? Are these things that you need to know to decide whether she's going to be your wife or not? Because to me,
it could be. Yeah.
really,
I wouldn't.
someone doesn't fold their clothes.
I wouldn't
say-
say deal breakers, but
You would just
The
want
accumulation
to know,
of all that.
it's the little things that kind of snowball into another
Okay.
that eventually
It's
blows
kind
up.
of like a defense also. Like, say for instance, if in the bigger scope of things, like it does work out well, but there are some subtle things that your counterpart you don't like that they do. However, you love them still, and everything is still all good, and it's almost petty for you to think that, oh man, I'm getting mad about that. Yeah, they don't fold their clothes on time, or they don't wash their clothes, or what have you. So at least it's something. If you were to take Kangsan's route,
Right.
you at least understand it preemptively before that already. So you already know it's like, okay, cool. It's just a small thing for me to get over. Now, if they're just blatantly bad or constantly doing something very, very wrong, then yeah, you weed that out. But it's at least it allows you to understand someone not only at a very complex level, but also understand the subtleties of their faults, should they have any.
Yeah.
And if it matters to you or not.
Where are you at with it?
I am on Kangsan's boat. Before I do marry somebody, living with them, as Kangsan said, unfolds and overturns a lot of cards or carpets, or you get to see a lot of other things when you do live with somebody because you're spending majority of your time with them. And so I would. Now, I wouldn't date someone for 7 months and then say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring it back to that. You know,
You know what's
I mean?
interesting though?
Yeah.
I know somebody that they moved in after 6 months and they've been married. Now they have a kid and they're super happy. So I don't necessarily knock it. I have questions, but I wouldn't necessarily knock it and be like, what are you doing?
To each their own.
Every
To each their
situation is
own.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would ask a few questions, but
Yeah.
it's not impossible that they would not be able to get along.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, it does differ from scenario to scenario, relationship to relationship. But,
Correct.
I would date someone for X amount of time, and then say if I were 4 or 5 years, and I were to propose to them, and then and say, you know what, hey, I've known you for 6, 7 years now. Well, by this time, I ain't no idiot. I'm probably gonna have a dope ass job with a dope ass podcast, or just a podcast by itself.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. And then and just live it out like that, and say, you know what, I want to take this further because I just wanted to make sure. I think it's time to have that talk about it. Let's move in. But see that whole 6 or 7 years, that's all par for course, I think, in my eyes, because that's like research. I'm doing my own research right now, and I've exhausted all my research that I could do without living with somebody.
Yeah.
And then now, as Kangsan said, when you live with someone, it's a totally different dynamic now.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think yeah. There's various layers to it. Like if you're going into the scenario where your first mindset is what is wrong for me to not be with this person, then I can see why it won't work out. Rather than people who go into it and see, hey, whatever, let me go into this and let's see what will keep us together. You know what I mean? And I just want to add another layer to this. And I'm not saying if I believe it or not, but there's another statistic or fact from what I heard is that, and it's crazy. It might be just a sample size, but arranged marriages are said to be more successful in terms of them staying together than say the average American marriages nowadays. We have the divorce rate at 50%, and and now there's a lot of factors that can add into it, like culture. They're not allowed to break up or whatever, but
That'd be one big key part of it.
Yeah, but then there's a lot of arranged marriages that end up being happy where they know nothing, and this is the point where they know nothing of each other, and
Right.
they decide to get married. They first see each other on the day of their wedding. Now, in terms of how much is this statistic reliable into it, I don't know, but just add another layer to it.
Just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Cool.
I think sometimes it's the perspective you go into the decision of moving in with a person. Are you going in this to say, hey, I'm gonna find out like I'm unsure about this, or it's just like, hey, I'm gonna go in this so we could do another like a test drive. We iron out the little complications stuff before I, decide to pop the question or something. There's a lot of perspectives to it that one answer is not gonna suffice. But I just want to show different sides of it.
Cool.
Gotcha. All right.
You got a second one?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do the second shot.
Sorry,
Yo, I have
sorry.
a
My
second
bad.
one.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
Oh yeah. More than a second.
I mean, my head is just bounces. Like,
I'm telling you, man. Assan,
I wish you guys knew.
That's a good question, by the way.
That is a great
That
question.
was some meaningful.
Salud, mi familia. Salud.
Assan has a six-pack on the outside and a six-pack inside his skull.
Oh, this guy here.
Damn. Yeah, let me see that 6-pack though.
Oh, my man's going celery and shot. I like it. Do your thing.
Fun fact about Max.
Your thing.
Yeah, fun fact. Hot take.
If Max has food with him to drink, he can outdrink anybody under the table. The food is his secret superpower.
Okay. It helps.
To drink. Myself and Germund, we just drink. It is what it is. Germund naturally is a gifted drinker.
Fact.
Tough.
I need activity. I need to be active and moving around, or else
Fact.
I have a God-given talent of falling asleep.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, second question.
Question 2.
Hit us.
I hate to stick on this topic, but it's just
Do it.
just where we are right now in life.
Oh,
But-
God.
But then right after this, I got a better one. But
Okay, cool.
I hate my life.
really quickly. So I kind of like dealt with this a little bit in college. So how would you guys? Okay, so I learned today that you guys go all the way back to high school, right?
Yes.
So
Deaf.
friendship very organic and has lasted a very long time. So how would you guys deal with it, or what would be your kind of the avenue or angle that you would take if one of your best friends started like dating someone or got really serious with somebody that A, maybe you didn't think was best for them, or B, just didn't like them overall?
God damn, Assan. You coming out here with the fucking heavy hitters, Assan.
No.
You a motherfucking guest on the Good Times of the Boys podcast, and you coming out with heaters.
We just watched the UFC, so I'm throwing haymakers at you guys. I just want to know where you guys like stand. I mean, this is a hard thing.
There's some good examples recently with this that
Absolutely.
Examples.
Assan, really quick, like a 5-word summary of that, what you just said.
Yeah.
Really quick, all over again.
Okay. Quick summary. Basically, how would you tell one of your friends that you don't think their significant other is right for them? So
Okay.
they're, head over heels in love.
Gotcha.
So his significant other obviously likes them. There's nothing that's like really present as far as like cheating or like anything like that you can kind of point to and say, this is the exact reason why you shouldn't be with them. It's one of those things like you just feel that, she's not rubbing me the right way, or he's not rubbing me the right way, whatever the case may be.
I'll let them two go first because I know these two know my answer already.
Yes,
polite.
I know very much his
Really?
answer.
Yeah, so I'll let Kangsan go first.
Okay, so this is what I say, and I would probably say out of the group, my answer is probably the most. I got, for lack of a better term, it's the softest answer,
Tame, yeah.
and this is why I would say, based on my time spent with this girl. Okay, I'm gonna pretend it's you. All right.
Right. I mean, and you have to like really take into account that I'm
Like you were madly in
yeah,
love
like
with this chick.
I fuck with her so much. So like hearing
Right.
this from you is gonna really fuck me up. But go ahead. I just want to see.
So
like,
I'm gonna pretend Assan, you're dating a girl that I'm not too fond of. Okay, so
Right.
I would sit you down and I'd say, look, I can see the chemistry and the spark that you have when you spend time with your girl. I can see that you're talking nonstop about her, everything you guys do. You were very proud to share it and talk about it, and all of that's fine. It seems like the things that you go through, you have common interests, you have common likes, you don't really get into arguments, you don't really have tiffs. There isn't anything she's done that causes you to be concerned.
right.
So what I'm going to say, let me explain. And I would say, the time that I've spent with her leads me to believe that she's not the best fit for you. Now, I understand at the end of the day, the time that I've spent with her is very small compared to the time you spent with her. So you may have a better idea of who she is. But as a friend, it is my responsibility to tell you exactly how I feel and the truth, regardless of whether it's good or not. If you like it or not, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, as long as she makes you happy, at the end of the day, as long as she is always challenging you to be the best version of yourself and you feel that truly,
Right.
then there's nothing I'm going to say that there's nothing that can come between us as friends. Just because I don't necessarily agree with the things that she does doesn't mean that that it's right. I'm taking from a very small amount of time that I spent with this girl.
Right. Small sample size.
So I just need to tell you as a friend how I feel, and things may change over time. But, that's that's how I would explain it.
Damn, that's real. You 100% wouldn't hold your tongue in any circumstance.
No, not as a friend, especially if I've known these guys since we're 14. That's over half our life at this point.
Assan, you have a lot to learn about me.
There's no circumstance, no scenario where I would ever hold my tongue, because I'm very much all about, like, I did what I had to do, even if it was uncomfortable. So even if any of these guys are gonna get mad at me and don't like me and don't talk to me for months, I know at the end of the day, they know that I told them the truth, and eventually we're gonna be good, and that's all that matters. So,
Max,
one of the most impactful lessons I've learned, just being friends with you guys, is that, like, okay, in this scenario, is that, yeah, of course I'm gonna give my 2 cents if I feel like your relationship with this girl is in a negative fashion. Now, but maybe it's just my personality, but that's all it's gonna end up being. I'll give my 2 cents and let it go, because I think we all agree that we're men, that we need to experience and our consequences as ourselves. Now, I feel like as the friends a role comes into place is after it ends, or after the breakup occurs, if you're there for them. It's good. Like, we should always give the 2 cents, give them another perspective of a relationship if they're love blinded, to give them that other perspective. But maybe just from my experiences as a friend, give them that honesty that they need, but also give them the opportunity to learn the experience, but also give them the net that if they fall and fail with that relationship, you're there to catch them. I don't know.
that's deep. That's deep. German?
supportive. I'm not here to judge people. I'm only here to observe what's happening and provide feedback to anything that I see fit. The reason why, and a stipulation to your question, is why have we, as this group, stayed friends for so long? And you've given us a scenario of this happening, and it might be a test of your friendship, right? And so I don't hold anybody to anything, except for I hold them to, they can think for themselves and they know what's best for themselves. Because if they are steadfast on what they want, who am I to come in and say anything otherwise? Okay. I tout myself as a man of facts. However, I do wear my heart on a sleeve, and I am emotionally driven. That said, I can only operate with me outside of the situation, what's been given to me based off of what's been happening. Okay. So if I see XYZ, I'm going to react to XYZ with a little bit of umph on my own experiences and like my feeling. But ultimately, it's not my decision, right? It's my buddy's decision. It's your decision, okay? Right. If I'm talking to you. Like, if I know, and say we've been friends for so long now, and I know you as a good person, you go to the ends of the world for us, for whoever this person is, then in my eyes, whoever's dating you or going out with you, ain't nobody better than them. You are better than them. because I know who you are. Now, if you are fucking up, and Kangsan and Max can attest for this, I'll tell you you're fucking up, and I'll say, that doesn't seem right. I don't like what you're doing.
Yeah.
However, if what you're doing is you're doing what you have to do in the sake of a relationship, and the outside variable is the one is affecting you, then that's when I start calling shit out. And I want to leave it up to the own person's autonomy. Go ahead, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But let me just put into perspective because a lot of thing is, the bad things in life sometimes overshadow the good things in life, because you have more of an emotional connection with the bad things because it hurts more,
Right.
rather than when you be glorified and it feels better sometimes, depending on who you are, right? When you win something, yeah, it's great. But you know what? Because in this day and age, all of us are competitive. It hurts more to lose than it is to win, and it feels than it does to feel better to win. Because everyone wants to win, and if you want to win so bad, and when you do attain that win, it's just more of, oh, I feel good.
Yeah, it's more of a relief.
It's a relief
rather than
right. It's a relief. However, when you lose, it's always devastating. Okay, and so yeah, I mean, it's. I always leave it up to you. Sometimes I got to check myself, because it's like, look, man, you're not the guy in the relationship. You're just the outside, omniscient, fly on the wall third party who's saying something. But I feel like, I am probably the devil's advocate to say something, and then you work off of that. You know what I mean? If what I say is the worst thing that can happen, then at least if I can err on one side, at least you have all this other side to work with.
True.
Because if I'm dilly-dallying and him-hawing and kind of playing in the middle a little bit, after you have a conversation with me, you have no idea where you stand with me as a friend, right? So you're like, oh man, I don't know which side to go on. At least with me, you know what side I'm on, at least.
Fact.
So it kind of helps you out. But look, man, like I said, man, I ain't trying to tell you how to run your life. You know what I'm saying?
We're just trying to tell you how to run the trap.
I was just trying to tell you about the trap. You know
All
what
right,
I mean?
go ahead and hit the third one.
Hey, salute
Third
that,
question.
fam. Salute.
Question 3.
Third one for August.
Yeah.
August 3rd. Happy birthday, Kangsana.
It's over, guys.
Kangsana.
Come on, Kangsana. I'm just trying to celebrate your birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
birth weekend.
Hey, Assan, when's your birthday, dog?
Uh-oh. You don't even know, does he?
Yeah.
It's located. Of course I don't know, homie. I met you 3 hours ago.
What's your age? What's your sign?
What's your ASL?
Your zodiac sign?
ASL, age, sex, location. Y'all remember that shit from the AIM Day? The fucking AIM days, ASL, age, sex, location?
Bruh, birthday's in 22 days.
Oh.
I know.
Shit.
Does that make you a Leo also?
Does that make you a Scorpio?
A Scorpio?
I'm
a Virgo?
actually a Virgo.
Virgo.
That's the next time.
But I'm right next to the Leo.
That's
so
crazy.
like,
I'm a virgin too. So,
That's our opening
That's
clip
different.
right there.
damn, dog. Hey, happy early birthday then, I guess. My
Thank you,
bad.
brother. Yeah, I'm
Holy
trying to do
shit.
it big this year,
I feel that. Okay.
Actually, my roommate's is on the 14th, too, so things are popping up.
I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
give a fuck about
All right, we haven't met him yet, so we'll
let's
wait.
go, Aria. Happy birthday.
Actually, that's Arya, right?
Facts.
Hey, Arya, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, shout out to you, Arya. Happy
Hey,
birthday,
shout out
dog.
to my boy. That's what's up.
Shout out to Aria.
Shout out to
man.
Aria.
Hey,
Yeah.
what kind of name is Arya, man?
Hey, that's a nice name. He's
it's
Persian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, little Iranian. Yeah.
what?
You see, you can get some different cultures on the podcast
I
sometimes.
know.
You do like a whole stereotype.
United
episode.
Nations.
That's the thing why I say, how Kangsan was saying, like your homie was saying burrito. And I'd say cilantro. Whenever I say, can I get some tomatoes, some onions, can I get some cilantro? So it's because of that.
It's the only thing that he
Because
says like that.
I get a cringe when people say, we got people in the state of Iraq and Iranians. It's that. Just
I think
a
it's
little bit.
because I've heard so many people try to pretend to be Korean in front of me. They butcher it horribly.
This guy right here. But Kangsan is he
That
gets
to
it.
me, it's like, okay, I get it. You tried, but there's a point in time where you don't have to keep repeating it anymore.
That's true.
And it just becomes ignorant. And I'm like, okay, you try one time, and it's okay if you say it wrong. You tried, but if people could continue to repeat it, I'm just like, come on.
Were you ever surprised when like someone who's not ethnically Korean?
How else would they be Korean?
Yeah, and then out of nowhere speaks
culturally?
fluent Korean. Were you ever surprised? Like, oh, what? Hey, man. Like,
like a white boy came
Yeah,
up to you.
yeah, it came up
was
to
like,
you.
"Oh, honey, let's go," and then you're like, "What
No.
the fuck?" Oh,
There are those people that exist
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, but not to me. Not a personal experience.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right.
Korea number 1.
Let's go.
Q3.
Let's go.
Three.
Let's do it.
We get a little more soft. You know, I think I hit you guys
Yeah,
a little
hey,
heavy.
hey, hey, real shit.
I
honestly,
saw this man here crying a little bit.
you
I don't
coming
want you.
out-
I don't want the
I was
tears to
about
come.
to tear.
Hey,
I was about to
look,
tear
man.
also.
Look, man, if I cry, look, you see me cry, I'm crying for my boys, man.
Hey,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
real.
I'm
Crying
crying
for the
squad,
homies.
right? For the homies right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pour one for them. too.
As I pour one into my cup for them, you know what I'm saying? Good Times with the Boys podcast. Assan, what's up?
All right, so Q3. All right, so we go through life,
Yes.
high school, and all this.
Yes.
You're checking boxes a little bit, right?
Okay.
So you finish high school, you either go to college or you start working, wherever the case may be. But I think it takes a while for people to really find out, like, maybe like what they're supposed to do or what they want to do or kind of what their passions are. And some of us kind of get into a job, and I don't want to say you get complacent, but you
Hey,
kind of get
hey,
content.
you can say it. You
You
can say
get
it. You can
content
say it.
in
You can say it.
what you're doing.
All right.
So my question to you guys is, what's the thing, the occupation, or it could even be a hobby that you would love doing like full time every single day if money was not an object at all? So let's just say everyone kind of gets paid the same amount, or there's not a direct correlation between working and how much you get compensated. So everyone gets money. Don't
Yeah.
worry about that. What would you love to spend most of your time
First of
doing?
all, I'm gonna say shut the fuck up for a second, Hassan, because I need you back on this podcast again.
I agree. Hey, dude, you're
And-
such a good moderator, and
and-
you're hitting on some bones with these
Dude,
questions. I was
Hassan,
like, oh, you can go light with the question?
I done met this
Light.
motherfucker 3 hours ago, okay, and I feel like his fingers in my aorta in my heart right now.
Nah, just-
You know what I'm saying?
These are things that go
Plucking
through
the
my head.
heartstrings.
Hey,
Plucking
hey,
the
you, hey,
heartstrings.
you're plucking. This is a science alert right now. Plucking the heartstrings. Okay. Okay. I think we kind of delved into this before, but I love doing it anyway. So if money were no option and no, it doesn't matter what job you're doing. If
Real
it's-
quick. Just say it real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah,
Max.
we talked about it a little bit.
I'll be a judge. I'll be judging people.
I need to know why, but
be-
sorry,
what?
It's occupation and just why.
I'll be a talent scout. I'll be a person who, say it's for
Okay,
instance,
Great, but why? 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 So why?
And
it's
what
because
kind of talents
I
got?
feel like my point of view is just superior.
Okay. Hey,
That's
what
confidence right
kind
there.
of talents got? Really quick. What kind of talents got?
I
Young Eastern
it's
European
just talent.
okay.
When I see talent, like I guess variety. When I see something good,
Right.
I know what's good, and I usually, and now this is being my confident self. I never tell you guys, but I'm ahead of the curve. Usually, I say something. Oh, hey, this is good.
Yeah.
I guess.
And this is not 100%, but like 80%. Something that I listen to is usually ends up being a mainstream thing a couple months, like a year or 2 years later or whatever down the road.
Then why don't you
But,
say anything so
man,
we can capitalize on it, bro?
because you gotta balance your confidence with
I don't know what
humility.
curve you're talking about. You talking about my scoliosis?
If it's
Because
that's
that's
too much of a curve.
That's the only curve you're ahead of.
Oh,
Oh,
that's too much of a curve.
it's too much of a curve.
Hold on.
For me, this is easy. It would be the general manager of any professional basketball team,
Love it.
hands down.
Yeah, I love it.
And so like it's weird that you say that, because most people would be like, you know, I want to play or I want to coach. Like, why GM?
I'm obsessed with just people, like in terms of helping create an environment where everybody can individually and collectively succeed. So I'm very much into being in a leadership position, in the sense of like not necessarily saying that I know more than people, but my passion is making sure everybody can perform at their best.
You know more than some people, okay?
Some, but not everybody.
Yeah.
So, with a GM, you're focused on players, coaches, the business, just sort of the behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. To have my fingerprint on the entire operations is my thing. Very, very young, at a very young age, you know, you grow up, you want to be an athlete, you want to be a professional athlete, this and that and third. I think it was my dad that kind of was just like, you think the people you see on TV are the ones that are happy and rich. But you know who are happier and more rich? So who are the people behind the camera? The
man behind the man.
So if you get to know how everything works, you're going to be in a much better position. And so it's if I'm in that position, I'm golden.
Respect. I like it.
Assan doesn't know about this of me, but if money were no option, if I had one thing to do, I would travel the world playing golf, if not playing on, you know, like the professional tours and
I was
making
about to ask if you're like a huge avid golfer. I wasn't sure, but I was like, this man's decked out right now.
Kind of.
If you were a billionaire, would you actually look forward to make the craziest golf courses or like mini golf courses where you're on the volcano, you gotta have to?
No. Yeah. I would build golf courses. But aside from that, what I would do is build tours. I would build tours. So, you know, for baseball, you have your AAA, AA, single A. Basketball, your G League, your Euro leagues, and all that stuff. For golf, it's smaller than that. I'd build leagues just because I know the talent that's out there for golf. And like, for instance, people like me who, you know, obviously I'm not as good as some people, but I think if there were other opportunities out there, and if I were to drive to some places or fly to some places, maybe I could have made it or whatever.
What do you shoot?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna scratch right now.
Oh,
maybe one or two. One or
really
two.
What, you go?
One
Hell
or two
no.
scratch.
My swing's pretty though. My swing is nice.
His swing looks fucking amazing.
My swing is nice. But when
It's
the
nice.
ball's there, don't worry about it. Like, it's not gonna go anywhere.
That's why you got video editing. You know, just
I'm
put
a
the ball
great
there.
practice swinger.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I mean, a lot of things like what people are doing now, because they're good, they build institutions, schools, academies for stuff. Not saying that I want to do that, but I want to build tours where players can compete in these tours and make certain points, make some money, because it's tough out there. Right. You know, I've known some people who are living out of their cars right now as we speak, just trying to make $1 because they love the game so much and they are that good. So I want to serve those underserved people, just for golf specifically. Obviously, I care about other people as well. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But if you were to tell me, you know what I'm saying, if money were no option, I would be traveling the world playing golf right now, hopefully making it to the tour somewhere, the PGA Tour. Or
man, that's such a okay. Honestly, that's such a good idea. When I was thinking about it, then the next thought I was thinking about to ask you was, what do you think about LeVar Ball with his JBL thing? In a way, now if you take out JBA,
the audio,
the league that he started,
Junior Basketball Association.
Oh, he started a league?
Whoa,
yeah,
this is big news.
Whoa.
Jello Ball just became the MVP of the All-Star game.
Well, I mean, if you look at it this way, right? You have the Drew League, and you have in the East Coast, you have the Moore League, right? Drew League and Moore League, is that what it's called? It's not difficult for someone to start a league, right? And I would be hard pressed to think that this league is going to be like even anywhere near a G League, right?
Oh, the competition's not there.
Right.
His motive for starting the league was he wanted college players to basically get paid for like the entertainment value that they bring to the games. So it's basically, I think it's 17 to like 20-year-old college kids. But
I'm
they
sure
pay
there's
them
some
like
legality to that, right?
But they pay them $3,000 to $4,000 a month to be on these teams. They get gear, they travel. I mean,
they've got to write that up, because there's some stipulation with that, right? That's why people in like.
Well, look, if you sign up for the JBA, you can't play in the NCAA. The NCAA,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So basically, you're signing your life away and not playing college and making sure that you think that you're good to play in that.
But you think that's a bad thing? But you're talking about maybe like the kid who needs money right away. He's going off to college. He can't take 4 years off when his like family needs shit. So he's like, I'm gonna hit this JBA. I'm gonna make some money and throw it back.
And then there was there's one instance with this guy who actually he got signed for I think one of the prominent collegiate basketball teams, but because of his grades weren't as good, I think it didn't qualify him to get into college. So he's one of that top prospects of that JBA team, or who went into that JBA league playing basketballs because of that scenario.
I respect that then, because school isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And he's just opening up a venue, opening up a channel for people who are trying to make it, whether it be make or bust. Then that's fine. It's you know what you're signing on to.
All right.
So yeah, let's salute lastly to this.
Yeah.
This is a salute. Salute. Assan,
Drink
salute
away,
to you,
guys.
my boy.
Q4.
All right. I'm gonna hit this book real quick. We're just gonna see what's good. Might be like a lightning round. I think these questions are kind of easy.
Okay, let's go fast.
Easy-ish. One thing that you've learned that blew your mind.
School's bullshit.
Oh wow.
School's bullshit for real life implications.
Interesting.
I'll
Now,
keep-
when you
I'll-
say school, you mean college, not high school.
Are you talking about just education in general?
Education in general. Yeah, education in general. I'll stop there, and I'll leave that for another discussion later.
I would say when I was in, it was freshman year of college, I think I took a astronomy, study of stars. I took an astronomy course, and they talk about Carl Sagan a lot, and it was the idea of, obviously it's selfish to think that we're the only living species out here in this universe, but it was the idea that every time you look up in the stars, what if, there is a non-zero chance that you're looking at a being who's looking right back at you.
I mean, they are saying that we are a figment
That's
of shadows, right? Like, you guys watch that video of like we are actually just figment of shadows based off of something reflecting off of something else that we are living.
I have no idea what that is,
You
but
know what I'm saying? Some crazy ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
but that definitely blew,
theory or something.
that definitely blew my mind. Is like I understood that there has to be other life out there, and
Absolutely.
it's going to be in many other forms that are not human. But just the idea, every time you look up, what if something is looking right back at you?
Lord,
That should blow my mind.
Max,
kinda scary.
what did you learn? Quick,
Oh, jeez.
here we go.
Life ain't always sunshine and rainbows.
God.
All right, Son, next question.
Okay,
Son,
next question, next
Son,
question.
Son,
How did you
next
guys
question.
know he was gonna say that?
No, we just knew it was going to be something silly. Oh, do we have to do another shot for this?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, of course.
All right, Q5.
Q5. We're gonna hit you with.
I know this is the first iteration of Shot Ones, but I feel like Assan should be the host of Shot Ones.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
I think every time we have shot ones, Hassan has to be on here.
One day I might come prepared
That-
too. Like,
that-
watch,
yeah,
wait till
that book
happens.
is hindering
It's a
you
whole
right now.
different- All right.
All right, here we go. Q5.
Q5, salute. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Assan. Happy birthday.
Life ain't
Hey,
always sunshine
happy
and
early,
rainbows.
Hassan.
Believe it, guys. Q5.
Sorry, man.
All right. What do you do to find calm in this chaotic world?
What do you do? Find calm in this chaotic world.
What do you do when the Klondike bar?
Yeah. What do you do?
What I do in this chaotic world, okay? And Kangsan and I talked about this in a different episode. I use a little bit of meditation, but the biggest thing is my form of meditation, if you will, is golf. Okay,
Wow. I like it.
and it's funny because I have a lot of things running through my head for work or for whatever it may be, and sometimes I might be editing a video or like tinkering with something or cleaning my guns or whatever it is, right? It's something that's therapeutic, right? But to be honest, it's always on my fucking mind. Whatever I need to, wherever I'm worrying about, it's fucking mind. It's on my mind. It's always on my mind. And so whenever I go to the golf course, whenever I'm on the golf course or even on the range, there is nothing but just me in the range and the golf course hitting golf balls. That's my stress reliever. Next.
Go, Max.
So this is something you have to build. It has to be a skill because you have to practice of getting yourself out of your body and feel grateful for the little things in life. So sometimes people there's that tip about right before you wake up, just write 10 things that you're grateful of. The reason why
I love that. I love that, bro.
Like now you don't have to do it, but it's just in cases where where I work, where I see like the craziest things, people yell at me, people dying having a seizure, look like they're breakdancing, standing up.
Oh my goodness.
Shit that really puts you out of your mind and think that you're in the worst scenario in the world. It's those moments where that habit of getting yourself out of that scenario and saying, hey, you know what? I'm just happy to have a job and making money. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's always a good thing because sometimes that those pressures, you need that to push you forward.
Yeah.
But it's just to think about the stuff that you're grateful for. Have that as a habit will keep you sane and moving forward.
I like it.
Kangsan, hit it.
It's just physical exercise. That's all it is. I have to find,
Yeah.
as long as I can find a way to exercise, whether it's workout, play hoops, run, whatever it is. I believe in the idea that there's a connection between movement and mental health.
Fact.
And so
Agreed.
There is.
I always try to find excuse to move and stay active and stay limber, and then that helps me stay sane.
Cool. All right. Pour them.
I think this might be the last one.
might be the last
This is
one.
going to be my question, though.
Okay,
We're
okay.
off book now.
All right, last one.
Get Max. Get Max right.
Well, because fucking, I'm gonna give Kangsan the most. Just
Because I live here.
Sure. Drink some ranch, Max. Do something.
because yeah.
Max is going to chug the ranch.
All right.
Because we're Ubering home, guys, because we're safe. Okay, we're Ubering home.
This is Q6, yeah?
Yeah, last one.
All right. So what's like everyone, when you're alone by yourself in your own apartment, in your
Playing
room,
myself.
what's something that like you do that you believe, might be very odd or weird? You might be the only person that does it. I can give you guys an example if you guys don't know what I mean.
Damn.
So one of the things that I do all the time, it's very weird, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with me. So before I go to bed, I always get into bed with socks on. That's with socks on.
Okay.
And
Wow,
I
that's
get
totally
under the covers.
yeah, it's totally.
I get under the covers, right?
And then you take them-
without using my hands,
You take them off.
I take them off using like my big toe, but it takes like time, and it's like this like activity that I do every night, but it like gets me in like tune to go to sleep. And when both socks are off, I go rub my feet together for like a couple seconds, and it's just like the best
And then
feeling
you're
ever
ready.
because it's like cold. I can't really explain it until you experience it yourself.
You
But,
haven't active practiced
Wow.
enough. Because I could do it in like a blink of the eye.
Seriously, both socks with
Big toe.
big toe.
Yep. At the same time.
Nike calf highs. I'm talking.
Yeah. He's
Never
talking about
mind.
like
Okay,
elite
never mind,
socks.
never
Elite,
mind.
elite, elite.
I'm
Yeah,
all
Elite
like
socks.
that.
Half calf elite socks.
They're thick.
I have the socks where when you're wearing shoes, it don't look like you're wearing socks.
Okay, yeah, you can blow those off.
Oh,
That's easy.
damn.
All right, what's your weird thing? Let me just hear it.
Wow. Do you guys have something? I got to think about that for a second.
Yeah,
man, that takes time.
I think one of the weird things I do, or I guess I don't know. I don't think it's weird, but I weigh myself a lot.
Like daily?
Yeah, at least 3-4 times a day I weigh
No
myself.
way.
I wake up in the morning, I weigh myself. After I work out, I go to the shower, I get out, I weigh myself before I go to work. I come home from work, I weigh myself before I go. I just weigh myself.
What's the like? What I guess why is my follow-up.
It's just like there's days where I feel like maybe I didn't exercise to the best of my ability, or I ate a little too much, or whatever.
Okay.
So the weight, the number itself is just a reminder of like, okay, today was kind of a bad day. Do better tomorrow. It's just kind of a thing.
But you're a Korean Adonis though.
Boom.
You
I
know
mean,
what
that
I'm
is
saying?
fact, but I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Days. I
Hey,
love it.
for the listeners, Kangsan does actually look pretty good. Okay.
It's like Adonis with like a fanny pack in the front.
Okay. Yeah. A fupa. Yeah.
Who's next? Who's got one?
Max.
Maybe it's not one thing, but maybe it's
a lot
just
of
like
weird things.
several
17.
habits that
We're gonna be here for
as
a
you
while.
can see if you're watching this video podcast, but I'm sweating balls right now. The thing is that I don't know, maybe subconsciously, but I've been prepared. I guess I'm preparing myself to live in Alaska with shorts on because my whole life is just about. Okay, I take the coldest.
Not hot.
I take the cold. Like I don't wait until the shower cold turns warm or lukewarm, whatever it may be, to jump in. I just jump into it, and to the point where my heart hurts. Like I feel like I'm about to get a heart attack. I'm sleeping
Savage.
with say it's winter. I have the fan on high, facing to me. I always have ice cold water drinking.
I can attest for that. Definitely.
Maybe it's just just subconsciously I've just gotten used to the cold, but I feel like throw me into a
Siberia?
Siberia, I'll be good. Maybe I'm preparing for the end of the world where it gets really 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 cold. But
Your weird thing is you just hot as shit all the time.
I'm not in the right place right now. I should be in Alaska.
I'm not in the right place in my life.
Hit me.
For me, it's very simple. Monday through Friday, even on the weekends, but usually Monday through Friday, I feel like I work a pretty hard week. And then for me, one of the things is I love going home. As soon as I go home, I turn on my PS4 so I can watch my Netflix. And the Netflix, it's only one or two of things. It's either Parks and Rec or The Office, and I keep
There's two shows.
I keep that on
Repeat
every time. But that's not even like the biggest thing. So because I know how much this means to me, and I know how good it feels. I try to put it off until the end of the night.
This is what I want right here.
So my bed is fucking fire, right? So my bed feels good, and I have these bamboo pillows. Shout out to Costco because I don't know if it's in the rotation still, but they have these bamboo pillows that if you put into the wash one time, put into the dryer 2 times, low heat, and you keep it in there, they go like a fucking marshmallow. Okay, so you keep one that you don't foof up because you need one under your pillow, under your head,
Right.
Because if it's too foofy, it fucks up your neck, right?
Yeah.
So you need one that's not so foofy and one that's foofy that I hold next to my body as if I am cradling somebody that I love. Okay?
To fit the piece that you're missing in the day.
to fill the void that I'm missing in my life. But no, to be honest though, like it's my biggest thing is like after I come home and if I'm playing, after I play with my dogs, and my dogs is a big thing also, but the biggest thing is because whatever culminates the night is what ends at night. And whatever ends at night is me going into bed. And every night I always flop onto my bed and I say, thank you, God, this is what I got. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, God, that this is what I can fucking lay on. You know what I mean? Regardless if the listeners or watchers believe in anything, I don't give a fuck what you believe in, but just believe in comfort.
Right.
As Max was talking about, he likes to be in not so hot situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, believe in comfort. Okay?
I'm just in a bad scenario. If you guys were in a cold scenario, I could be naked and I'd be like, what you guys doing? it's a little lukewarm going on right now.
Yeah, but there's something satisfying about having a full ass day. And it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and the office is running. I drop down on my bed, put my head on my fluffy ass pillow, and say, "This was a good ass day. It's cool. I can wake up the next day and start all over again." And that's what helps me sleep at night, quote unquote.
I love it. I love it. I see what you did. I like it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop Assan because apparently we can go on for fucking hours for this shit.
Can.
So much fire.
So much fire.
And you know what, Kangsan? This is our longest episode, right? This is today.
Yeah.
This is the longest episode.
Is it?
We're gonna definitely revisit this down the road. This
yes,
has been
we
a lot of
can.
fun.
Yeah, and then Assan is obviously coming back on. And,
Yeah.
And, hey, who
Yes.
knows?
I loved it.
Who
Please.
knows? As Assan said, Assan is a good friend of Raph, and who knows? You might have Assan and Raph on the same episode. You never know.
El Cuñado.
air
Come
horn.
on.
El Cuñado, come on. Let's real quick. We'll culminate this with another salute. Again, happy birthday, Kangsan. Thank you, Assan, for coming out for us.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hassan.
sir.
Happy birthday,
Obviously, thank you,
Kangsan.
Kangsan. And if y'all see, I don't know if maybe it comes out in the video, Kangsan got these dope ass lights for the room and for the podcast. So I do appreciate everybody. Actually, you know what? We're gonna take these shots in confidence. Okay, Kangsan, can we plug anything right now?
Just follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter @_GTWTB.
Assan, you want to plug anything, my boy?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, where can they find
I knew
you?
we could
Yeah,
get
hey,
plugs.
Assan, where can we plug you?
All right, y'all can find me on Instagram @Assan Inc. I'm incorporated. That's right.
Incorporated.
INC.
Not out of the corporated, but in the corporated.
Talk that shit. That's the only social media I have, so that's
Love
where we're
it.
gonna end.
Okay, no, I
do
love
it.
it. I
Let's
love
do
it.
it.
All right, guys. So you know where to find us on InstaG and the tweets _GTWTB. On behalf of my boys and our new boy Assan here, we appreciate you for listening and watching with us. We have a lot more coming on this next season, and you know what? We're gonna check you guys out on the next episode. Okay, so until then,
Bye bye.
bye bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter.
Germund as a weatherman would be the guy from Family Guy. And we're gonna turn to German now for the weather.
It's raining.
Thanks, Germany.